Today, let's talk about some of my favorite pattern hacks and mashes. When I woke up this morning, the temperature said that it was 45 degrees, and I knew exactly what that meant. Sweater weather. And my favorite top that I have as a sweatshirt piece is this mash that I made of two patterns together. And I thought it might be a great time to show you a few patterns that are perfect for mashing. Welcome back to the Love Notion Sewing channel here on YouTube. And today I'm so excited to dive into one of my favorite topics. Fall is the perfect season to start to get creative with our patterns. And I'm here to show you just a few small tweaks that you can take to some already great patterns that will make them indispensable in your wardrobe, and ways that you can create something that's perfectly unique for you. I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite pattern mashes and hacks, and I think that they might be inspiring for you as you begin your next pattern hack or mash or start on your journey. So let's jump right in. So let's talk about one of my absolute go-tos for a pattern right now, and that's the combo that I'm wearing here of Serenity Sweater and Sloane Sweater. The Sloane is sort of like a sweatshirt pattern, and the Serenity is a really beautiful crossover front pattern. So I wanted to combine that crossover front with that basic sweatshirt with a hood, and I love this piece. I wear it all the time when it starts to get a little cooler. And the result is this perfect, cozy, layering piece that I wear all the time. You might be curious how I made this, so if you want to get more details on the whole process, you can watch this video on our channel. The next example I want to talk about is this pattern. It is the Lyric Dress Bodice plus the Encore Skirt. And I feel like with patterns like this mashup, I feel like it was meant to be. I'm so pleased with how this entire thing turned out together. It was like one of those things where it was almost like a surprise about how much I loved it. I was actually trying to recreate a dress that I saw from Ann Taylor Loft, and I love this so much more than the original inspiration. It turned out so polished and wearable, and it's in this gorgeous grape linen fabric that is a joy to wear. And it's kind of proof that sometimes two patterns can come together and feel like they were always meant to be. If you want more details on this particular pattern mash, you can watch this video here where I kind of challenge myself to recreate the look. Now, this was a very fun experiment that totally worked. I took the square neckline from the Salt Whistle top and I mashed it with the Arlington sweater. Now, Salt Whistle is a woven top, so I just kind of used that neckline shape and the facing, but used it with a knit fabric like you need for the Arlington top. I use this cool Burberry lookalike sweater knit from Style Maker Fabrics, and it really gave that like classic meets comfortable, cozy look that I was going. Honestly, it really is one of my very favorite pieces, and it's a go-to for me when I'm looking for something that's like sleek and sophisticated. To take the bodice of one pattern and mash it up with a skirt, and Sybil skirt is a ideal pattern to mash with many different types of tops. And one of the tops that I took to mash it together with was a princess seam top that we have, which is called Margot Peplum. So this has like these gorgeous princess seams, and I wanted the pockets of the Sybil skirt, and I mashed it together to make in this scuba fabric to make just such a sleek, perfect for a little bit more of a formal occasion. And I love this mash so much. It worked out beautifully, and it has pockets. Now this next one I actually have, I think it's in my laundry right now because I wear it so much, but it uses the Rhapsody pattern as the base, and then I pair that with a wide gathered skirt, and I have made it two different ways. The Rhapsody dress with the gathered skirt, just a full gathered skirt, as well as a full tiered gathered skirt. And both of these modifications that I made are so easy. I'm like, anybody could absolutely do this. It would be a great place to start if you're new to pattern hacking. But there are like essentials for me. I love adding a tiered gathered skirt to just about anything. And Rhapsody is a perfect base for that. And it gives such a nice dramatic, swishy, really impressive look to this pattern. And it takes very, very little modification to the originals. It's a great way to stretch that Rhapsody pattern into a lot of different ways. And I love anything with a big swishy skirt. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about the coats that we have here at Love Notions. And one of them is the Clef Coat. This actually is available for ladies sizing, menswear, as well as kids. The base clef is the men's version. The treble clef is the kids. Saw that version originally. I knew I wanted to make that hood lined. And this was such an easy addition to the pattern. I used a quilted knit for the hood part and then a nice cozy sweatshirt knit on the inside. And my husband and my daughter liked this version so much that they requested theirs be made in the same way. So this wasn't necessarily like a mash or anything. This was a really easy modification, but it's one of my absolute favorites. That idea of adding a lining to something more versatile and allows you to kind of make some fabric combinations that are interesting and cozy. So I love that. And another way that I did a hood lining that's just slightly different than the original pattern calls for is with Whistler. So Whistler is a sweatshirt pattern at Love Notions, and usually this hood part is all one fabric, but sometimes it's nice to have it be in a different contrast fabric. And so I just was able to really quickly do a very easy modification for that pattern piece and make it in a lined contrast fabric. And you can see I did that with this version here, which is like in this gray sweatshirt knit, and as well as a sweater knit. If you want more information on how to do that really quick lining idea, I have these two videos that you can look at as well. And now, last but not least, I wanted to talk about one of the patterns that we actually took this hack and made it an add-on for the pattern. It was that good. So I love the Tempo sundress. If you can see here, it has like that shearing on the back, and it typically has straps that are sewn there for finishing off the top. And sometimes you don't want to wear a strap and you want a little bit of a sleeve, and I wanted a little flutter sleeve. So I combined the flutter sleeve from one of our other patterns with this, and it turned out amazing. It turned out so amazing actually that Tammy decided to add this modification on as an add-on to the pattern itself. So this is a free inclusion in the pattern. And so you can see now Tempo sundress doesn't have to be just for summer anymore. It can be used throughout the year. So that's a great example of how a pattern hack modification can really embed itself into the blueprint of the pattern. And it's just a reminder that small changes like playing with the sleeves, playing with the length, the hem, the skirt, all of those things can make such a huge impact. And finally, I wanted to leave you with a little bit of a teaser about our next pattern that's coming up. It's called Bridget Trousers. And this is actually the brainchild of one of our favorite ambassadors who's helping to partner with us on this pattern. And it became a reality because of some ideas around pattern mashing and pattern hacking. And it was so good, it deserved to become its own pattern and get some time in the spotlight. And we're in the midst of testing it right now, and it's going amazing. This new pattern is sleek and chic and really comfortable and practical. And I know that you're gonna wanna add it into your wardrobe. And I cannot wait to share all of the details with you. Look out. So there you have it. A few patterns that are ideal for pattern hacking, for pattern mashing, and for playing around. I hope that when you see something in the store that you have the confidence to take the foundations of our patterns and use them as a jumping off point for making everything that you want to wear in your own wardrobe. If you have any suggestions about what I should try next and kind of do some of the hard work for you and experiment and then show you the results, please tell me as well. I would love to play around with that. Don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe, and stay tuned with us for our weekly feature Fridays, our upcoming pattern releases, and all of the good ideas and inspiration and sewing help that you need to make your journey a success. I'm so happy to be your sewing friend here on YouTube. So happy sewing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.